Hey guys, it's Vengeful Shadows here, and we're gonna do a quick deck profile. Me and my buddy have been testing a build real quick in the rated section of the dueling book. Don't give me too much crap, but they get pretty competitive in there, so I wanted to test a deck, see how it compares, in the meta, make sure it's not a glass cannon, and it's been performing very well. We'll be showing you that here in a sec, and to give a shout out to my buddy, Mr. Kodak. He does a bunch of streaming as well and has a Twitter, so if you can, go by, drop him a follow as well. Alright, they also have a channel on the YouTube, but I do a bunch of testing with him, so please go ahead and go share him, give him some love. And if you like what you're seeing here, definitely, that is Vengeful Shadows 0WZ. Drop a follow or come watch on the Twitch. We do this as well as the occasional, and when I say occasional, I mean a lot, of Destiny 2. And we got a Twitter as well. So if you're liking what you're seeing, definitely come drop a like or a follow. Now let's get to that deck profile. And today we have a Nurse Burn deck. Okay? It's pretty old school. I like old school decks. Decks that's been around for a minute. And this one's been around for years. And it has only gotten more support as the years have gone on, okay? So, back when it first came out, and I'm pretty sure Gift Card wasn't even out right away, like if I'm correct, when Nurse was out, or like came out, because this came out in a GX game 05, and it wasn't actually a Dark Lord. It was, what was it, Fallen Nurse Reficule, and I'm pretty sure the Japanese, it was supposed to be Lucifer backwards, but we got the E on here because they used to censor everything. But yeah, so it has a new name for Dark Lord, so you can search it off the Dark Lord spell card, and it runs with all the Dark Lord archetype cards. But in this build, we're not gonna use that. And for my personal collection, I definitely, here we go, I don't need to search it. We got actually Nurse Reficule. Yeah, the Fallen one. Alright, so different name, GX05EN001. Okay, so right now, this is, 16 years old? It's pretty nice. But what it does is any effect that would make your opponent gain life points inflicts the same amount of damage to them instead. And when it first came out, we had very few cards that did that. Upstart did it. Gift Card, which increases your opponent's life points by 3,000, is a good card. And then Paths of Destiny, which both players toss a coin. The player, if they get heads, they gain 2,000. If they flip tails, they take 2,000, and each player does that. If you have Nurse on the field, your opponent takes the damage, no matter what. Okay, so those were the only two we had. So, back in the day, it was a little bit harder to make this deck a deck. Alright? Well, now it's 2021. It's been 16 years. So, here we go. We're going to get into it now. And why it's better. So, right off the rip, we got one bad reaction. Okay? And this came out before Nurse was out. So, it's the same thing as Nurse. It's a continuous trap. As long as it's on the field, anything that makes your opponent gain life points inflicts the same amount instead. We keep it because sometimes Nurse doesn't survive on the field. Sometimes it's nice just having that extra card without having to search her. It just, numbers wise, the one bad reaction, the only thing we've debated is a second, but the one works real well. And then we got the Trap Trick. I'll be honest, when I saw this card come out, this is the first deck I thought of. A lot of cards were coming out at the time, and it just seemed like this deck got better and better, and Trap Trick is definitely a plus for it, okay? You banish one normal trap card from your deck, except Trap Trick, and set one card with the same name directly from the deck. Also, it cannot be activated this turn. Or it can't, my bad, sorry. It can be activated this turn, whole reason it's good, and you can only use one Trap Trick per turn, okay? And after it resolves, that's the only trap you can use. So obviously, that's the last one thing you want to be doing in the combo is going to be using the Trap Trick, okay? Now, if you're looking, every trap besides bad reaction, is a normal trap. And I play 3 of everything except the forced 1 metaverse, okay? So all of these are targets for trap trick. Now, let's get into the main burn of the deck, okay? Like I said, we got the 3 Reficule, 1 bad reaction, okay? So we got 3 gift cards, which increase your opponent's life points by 3,000. 3 Paths of Destiny, which if you got any of those, it will actually burn them for the 2,000, and then you potentially either take 2,000 or gain 2,000, okay? We got 3 Ring of Destructions. Ring used to be an insane card, and the meta got banned, got eroded, came back, didn't see much play, okay? I got eroded to during your opponent's turn. It used to be both turns. Target one face of monster your opponent controls whose attack is less than or equal to their life points. Okay? So you can't game them with Ring unless you chain correctly. Destroy that face up monster, and if you do, you take damage equal to the original attack, then you inflict it to your opponent. Okay? And then you can only use 1 Ring of Destruction per turn. So that's good to keep in mind, that one in this deck, because you can't use 2 rings in 1 turn to kill your opponent. So we get the ring in there. Honestly, it's great interruption, and ring can do massive damage. Try and guess. Now, try and guess is a fantastic trap. It's like gift cards, a little different though. If each player has an extra deck, declare 1 extra deck monster card. Fusion, Synchro, or Exceed. Can you tell this was out before a link? Okay, Fusion, Synchro, or Exceed. Both players reveal their extra deck, and the player who has more cards of the declared type gains 3,000. So, if you're playing a deck that you know has Red Eyes Dragoons, or if you know you're playing Prank Kids, or you know you're playing a deck that has Exceeds or Synchros, you call that type, they gain 3,000. You burn them for damage. I think we're like 7-1 with the deck right now. Try and Guess was the only time we lost a game, and it was because we had a fusion in here. It was Dragoons. I'll show you why later. And that costed us, so we cut everything that wasn't Link out because of that. And if we would have gotten it off, we would have had no fusions. We would have won the game. So that was the one. 1 metaverse to search the 2 mines, and then we got 3 blazing Ameriphores. In early testing, the blazing was, like I said, we won, but it wasn't being used. And then as we got up in the ranks, blazing started popping off and has literally clutched 2 games. Like, absolutely 100% guy leaves the duel, okay? Blazing is insane and wins games and just, like, solidifies the field, okay? We got 2 Mystic Mine because we like being assholes, okay? I mean, honestly, I'm gonna say it. Please don't hate me. Don't close the video. Don't, hate me. But I love Mystic Mine. I think it helps the little guys in Yu-Gi-Oh out, okay? The not so big decks. Just MST it, man. But anyways, like, I like 2 in here. We got the 1 metaverse, and it's just enough. Keep in mind, Nurse Reficule is a continuous effect, so she is not gonna not have it go off, okay? Next up, 3 Pot of Desires. Dangerous, yet effective. Dangerous because this is a combo-oriented deck with Trap Trick, okay? And we got targets that can get banished, so we do recommend trying to, like, make sure you're good to go, and then work around it to use the Trap Trick to hit the right one to burn them. Just make sure you know it's getting banished afterwards, okay? So far so good. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna knock on wood right there. So far so good. We've been liking the Desires. 2 Prosperity. They clash with a bunch of the draw engine, but it's for consistency purposes. Sometimes you don't see the draw engine, so it's nice to have the Prosperity. Sometimes you have game, and you just need, you're 1 card off game, and you're going to go 6 deep in that extra deck, and you're going to get it. And it definitely just solidifies like close to FTK hands, okay? Once again, 3 duality does not clash with the prosperity, doesn't clash with the desires. So it's nice to open combos of the desires and and duality or prosperity duality. Okay, honestly, I like the desires a little more because of the next two. We got the desires, we got the duality. Card of Demise. Card's insane. When this card came out, once again, this deck is the deck I thought about. I was like, man, that Nurse Burn would be insane, because Nurse Burn already had like a decent if you opened like well with it, you already would just win the game like immediately. Okay, so I mean, drawing 3 free cards in a deck where you set your hand doesn't sound like much to think about. Into the Void, once again, like normally keeping your hand doesn't matter. That's why we play the Demise. So Into the Void, just free upstart without that 1,000. I don't play the upstart because we're not always going to have the Nurse on the field right away, because here's where we get to the juice. Condemned Witch. Now, I did a price video a little bit right before this, and I hinted that I liked a certain fairy that I summoned from the deck. Don't get me wrong, I love me my Bountiful Artemis for counter fairies, which this would be great in, but Condemned Witch. When this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 Forbidden Quick Play spell from the deck to the hand. During your opponent's turn, during your opponent's main phase, very important, quick effect, you contribute this card, special summon 1 level for fairy monster from your deck, except Condemned Witch. Okay, card once per turn for each of those effects. Now, what fairy do I summon? Well, the only one I have in the deck, only other monster, is Nurse Ruficule. It is a fairy. Yes, Lucifer is a fairy. Okay? So, Condemned Witch, you summon it, you search droplets, and then during their main phase, you tribute it off, special summon Ruficule. Okay? Making it super accessible. Obviously, if you have Ruficule, you won't need the Witch all the time, but sometimes getting that Forbidden Droplets is nice, and sometimes having a nice 100 attack monster that during their main phase you're going to tribute off to someone from the deck kind of like protects it slightly from like certain cards, like for that very brief moment. Obviously, there's a very few things that can happen, like Ash, things like that can hinder you. That's why, normal summoning the Nurse is nice. But Condemned Witch has made the consistency of this deck unreal. And then I run 2, 1 gets... I can't tell you how many times 2 get banished from the Pot of Desires, honestly. If there's one card that probably gets hit a lot, it's the Droplets. But, as we know, Droplets, the moment it came out, was hot. And then it just gets printed as an ulti, and now no one can, budget players just don't get any. But in this deck, droplets are insane. As you know, there's a bunch of monster effects, especially when you're going second. They just negate all your stuff. And 2 mine is nice, but sometimes it's not enough. And droplets being able to just be added for free for the card that immediately just special summons is honestly the reason we are running it out. Ruficule. Which is why I don't play the Dark Lord Searcher, is because Witch and will search the droplets. I've played against Dragoon players, I've played against a bunch of cards that will just start negating your stuff, and being able to use droplets to negate them normally just immediately wins you the game. And then not only that, it's good to keep in mind, the pro plays for droplets, when you activate desires, you chain droplets, get rid of desires, hit them. Or in this deck, let's say you got a good setup, summon Witch, get droplets, do your draw engine, set the Trap Trick gift card, ring, or Trap Trick gift card, try and guess droplets and what have you, okay? Because Witch has to activate in their main phase, they get a response window. You can't just at beginning of your main phase tribute. No, you have a response window. They have priority as turn player. So the moment they do anything, you can Witch. Alright? But once again, keep in mind, make sure you're doing it correctly. Like, let's say you set, like, literally, like, because you can win like this. If you set a gift card, try and guess Paths of Destiny, or 2 gift cards in a Path of Destiny, and you got a witch on the board. It's their main phase, and they're like, oh, I'm going to activate Lightning Storm. I'm going to wipe your back row. You can then be like, okay, chain, gift card, chain, gift card, chain, Path of Destiny, chain, condemned. Chains resolve backwards. So, Nurse comes out, and then we get the burn. And then you win the duel. And then you just won the duel. Anyways, same with droplets. You can have card set, you can have ring set, gift card set, something else set, got your witch out there in the droplet set. Alright? And then you can be like, alright, summon a monster, get the effect off the monster. You know, maybe it'll blow up a bunch of stuff, maybe it'll do all sorts of negating, okay? And then you're like, alright, or maybe they have multiple monsters. Okay, you're like, alright, you know, once again, like activate gift card, activate the other card, chain, droplets, chain witch, and like you could probably do that interchangeably, honestly. Where like obviously, you know, do your thing, but like witch summons it out, the nurse, but like droplets, you can send like the ones you activated in chain, okay, and then they'll start getting burnt with the nurse, and then you're basically getting free fodder for the droplets to start negating their monsters, okay. It's just little things like that that will come up that will absolutely win you a duel. Okay, and like I said, like I wanted to test it in comp or in the rated because I don't want a glass cannon deck that's like on pen and paper it can FTK, and I mean those are very nice. I mean we have, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! We have a bunch of decks that can do that, but once you get into like I'm gonna negate that, I'm gonna hash that, I'm gonna gamma, I'm gonna summon a Red Eyes Dragoon and have 5 negates turn 1. Certain decks cannot do it. And after playtesting with this deck, especially with the droplets in there, that's why I'm doing a deck video, okay? Because this deck is insane, okay? No, I haven't gone to an event. No, I've not won with this deck. But, like, if someone wants to, or whatever, I mean, like, this is definitely one hell of a deck. Or at least to have some fun with, okay? We're going to go into the sideboard here. We've done a few tweaks with it. Mainly because the last card's mine. It was another kaiju. I just felt like we weren't doing 6 side in. So, let's get into it. As we know, side decks really matter if you're going first or second. Like I said, Ash is a card. There are a bunch of hand traps that do hurt you. So Mind Drain is something I like was putting in here if we were gonna go first. Like let's say you win game 1, lose game 2, or lose game 1, win game 2. It really doesn't matter, okay? But whatever. Like let's say you're going in and you lost a game and you get to choose inside. You side in the Mind Drain, go first. Once again, it's mainly for the witch. You'll summon the witch. Let's say they got the Ash, but they know what you're doing now, okay? You're gonna, like, let's say they have the Ash for when you try to summon out the nurse from the deck. You're gonna get the droplets, make your sets, do your setup, set the Mind Drain. There you go, alright? They draw, you gotta wait for, like, the response in the main phase, but, for witch. But, this card, Mind Drain, obviously, trap, you can just activate it during their standby. Pay that 1,000, they can't do anything now, alright? Main phase comes along, they got that response window, they do something, you witch, bring out your nurse, or burn it, okay? We're not, but either way, they can't activate hand traps anymore. And, that's gonna shut some people down. It's going to. Mind Drain's insane. I'm surprised more, like, we haven't seen more about it, but it's whatever. Maybe it's because it's not, like, super hollow or what have you. The rest of the deck, you could maybe have that for going first, but for the rest of the deck, it's pretty much going second, okay? We got 3 Evenlies. I'll keep it real. I haven't really sided into these yet. But I think that'd be good for like a Dragon Link build if they're like just going banana central and you were like one hit's not going to do too much where they're setting up like way too many negates for you to actually deal with. Um, the only other thing I would think of is like Dark Ruler no more, but I'm pretty sure there's something with that. And damage. Hold on. Yeah. After it resolves. Yeah, until the end of this turn. So, I mean, it'd be okay. I mean, we could definitely Dark Ruler it over evenly. That would be the, like, honestly, potentially what I do. It's because I don't want to run into a board of a million negates. But the thing about Dark Ruler, again, compared to evenly, is, which, like I said, because you're going to Dark Ruler, you're going to negate their negates, but then on their turn, they're going to be able to negate your stuff. So that's why we stay with evenly. So yeah, scratch that. Don't use Dark Ruler no more. Then we got. This is the fun part. Okay, this is one that gets real good. So we got 5 kaijus. People really be abusing Gamasuel, man. He's the best kaiju, and they just send it to the opponent's board and kill him, man. I don't know, man. Do you guys know what he does? He negates stuff and banishes. He's real good. But anyways, we're gonna use kaijus for what they're used for, getting rid of the big board stuff that just negates everything. But we're rocking the big ones, and we're rocking the big ones because we play 3 Ring of Destruction and 3 Blazing Metaphors. Mainly Ring, honestly. Like, I'll keep it real. Turning into a deal 3 or 33 to the opponent in a deck where 3 of these cards ends their entire life. We're liking that, okay? So not only is it going to get rid of their Dragoons, but it's going to be shelling out 3,300 damage to them, okay? And in this build, that's crazy, okay? Now, the next 3 you can give, like, you can do what you want with this one, okay? Like, maybe I like to have fun sometimes in my side decks, and this is a card I really love, okay? Now, Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, quick effect. You can discard this card, reveal 1 card in your extra deck, then look at your opponent's extra deck. Also banish all cards in their extra deck with the same name as the revealed card. Obviously, hard ones per turn effect. Dark Zombie Tuner, good for a bunch of stuff. We're playing Nurse Burn, okay? So we're not about to link it into Havoc. So we got that. She is the reason we lost the first game. And it's not because we used her. It's because in our extra deck, we had a Red Eyes Dragoons. And it was 1 fusion. So I try and guess a Prank Kids player. And they also only had 1 fusion. So we ended up, like, not dealing damage to them. So we would have won that match. That was the only loss we had. Like I said, it's not because I played Ghost Reaper. It's because we had the Dragoons in the extra deck for the Ghost Reaper. But 9 times out of 10, you can just Ghost Reaper the Anaconda and have a day. It's not as effective. Honestly, like, what you can always do if you really want to is you could take the Mystic Mine out, put in a Red Eyes. That's kind of like what was in there for a second, but I just wanted to keep that extra deck fresh of everything, so the main board try and guess wasn't getting screwed over by the maybe side decked Dragoon Cherries thing, okay? So, but these bad boys hit more than Dragoons, okay? We got we got whatever. Well, I'll just show you the targets because they're all targets for Cherries. And then we got the 3rd mine just in case you feel like you need a little bit more backup, okay? Then all of our targets for Cherries, which are decent shutdowns. So we got the Anaconda. Once again, it's like, alright, you're going to go in there, hit it. I wish I could just hit the Dragoons. That, like, once again, that'd be more optimal, is let them go into the Anaconda, pay that 2,000, hit that Dragoons, okay? Or, yeah, I think, I don't know if I think that's just the effect. But yeah, they go in the Anaconda, you just hit the Dragoons right there, okay? They got the Kagari. You can tell when your opponent's about to set up for Kagari, man. I'm not gonna lie, just hit it out of there. It's not gonna, like, unless it's like super crucial for them, they might leave, but it's just gonna be good to be able to stop them from going into that. Okay. I just have high IT in here because it's one that attacks directly. It can pose a threat to us. And then the Zeke, because let's be real, this is probably the one that makes them quit. Okay, man, you get rid of the only thing they're gonna be able to go into off of some of the saviors. They're pretty screwed. Okay. Um, I try to keep it family friendly, but man, we don't like Dragon Link. That's all I'm gonna say there. Okay, we don't like Dragon Link. Prank kids, meow meow moo. If you hit this, yeah, they ain't playing anymore. Okay, it's one card hit for a prank kid. That's all I'm gonna say, man. You just cherries this thing, and they're dunsies. Dark Infant. I've seen a few Ignister decks running around. This is definitely the one you'd want to hit. The bow, you'll see them setting up for a bow, and the monsters, you'll just negate that. Bow's pretty rough against our deck, so getting rid of that's real clutch. I just threw it in. You'll see them going for it, especially like I said, like things like Sky Striker. They'll just start linking into it. You'll hit the access code, and now they're stuck with the monster. Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. You'll see Dragon Link start going into it. You just hit it. Let me go and move that over to that spot. Unicorn. Once again, it's almost like you'll see an IP setup. Hit it before, just in case, if that's like all they can do. Anima, again, you'll see them, put it in the zone. They'll summon, go for that link, you'll hit it. You can maybe even bait a monster into the zone. Tri-Brigade, Shireg, the Ominous, Omen. I'll be honest, like, I want to hit a Tri-Brigade card. If there's a card that's better to hit for Tri-Brigade, just comment, please, and let me know what the hell to hit, because I'm a little, like, lost with those. Trap Trick Sarah, it's one card hit Trap Tricks that you 100% know is going to get the job done. And then Wonder Driver just for hero hit. Okay, and I'm just going to try to keep it all links because of the try and guess. But overall, this deck has been fantastic. The additions of Witch, the Droplets, Trap Trick, and like Demise and stuff has overall made Nurse Burn, in my opinion, very viable. We got Prosperity. I mean, we just got everything now, man. I mean, like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can draw your deck, you can add your deck. You got a lot of options to get access to a lot of combos that you need. So you get Nurse or Samochi, and you get 3 of any of these traps pretty much. I mean, like Ring, Dependable, and Blazing really is just emergency. But I mean, between the try and guesses, gift cards, paths, and then honestly, like Rings do put finishers in there. It's really easy, and like I said, Trap Trick makes the consistency unreal. So that is the Nurse Burn deck, and just super excited about it. Wanted to make a little video about it. And if you like what you see, definitely test it out. Drop some comments. Maybe even get some recordings. Show me. I want to see how it performs. Honestly, it has been fantastic. It's a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. You get out of a lot of situations you did not think you'd get out of, and a lot of Yugi moments, bro. I'll say that, especially with all the draw cards. But yeah, again, guys, hopefully you're liking what you're seeing. I'm trying to put up some more videos for YouTube. If you do, again, we got the Twitter, Vengeful Shadows. That is 0WZ. Okay. Xbox tag, guys, from back in the day. I know, but Vengeful Shadows 0WZ. And we got the Twitch. We do streaming for Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as Destiny. And we're going to be trying to do a lot more with Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. I do a lot mainly for Destiny, but I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially the market prices and stuff. So we're going to be trying to do a lot of videos for that. And again, if you like the content you've seen here, drop a like, drop a subscribe, please share, and try to have fun, play some fun decks. Okay, guys? Definitely have a good night, and stay safe, guys. Okay, have a good one.